Alright, so today what we're going to be doing is assembling the front timing components, putting the timing chains on, timing the engine, putting the new oil pump on. We got a boundary oil pump, so I'll show you guys how to install that. It's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. But let's go ahead and let me go over to the bench and show you what we got for parts. Alright, so what we got for parts here is we got our chains. We got our pickup tube. This pickup tube is actually from this oil pump here, which is just a standard high output oil pump from a early Cobra, but I'm going to be upgrading the pump to the billet geared one, obviously from Boundary. We got our guides, we got our tensioners, the bolts, and then we got our crank sprocket here. So let me go ahead and open this up and we'll see what we got. So this is what we got in the box. Pretty much you have the certification of the pump, you know, and who did it or whatever, and all the clearances. You can look at that if you want. New O-rings, you get a sticker or whatever. Then let me get this pump out. All right, so we got our pump out. Come nicely packaged actually. Here's your part number here. This is a MMS1, and it's like a stamped Boundary on there. So let me get this thing unwrapped and we'll see what we got. All right, so here's our pump here. Like I said, it's stamped Boundary. There's your part number, the MMS1 pump. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's nothing really to it other than the billet gears and stuff like that. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and put this thing on. I'll show you guys how to do that. We'll bolt it down and we'll go from there. All right, so we're at the front of the engine here. We're getting ready to put our pump on. You can fill this thing up with oil if you want through the hole there. I mean, it's already got lube in there from the factory when it was built, so you don't really need that. And we're going to be pressurizing the oil system anyway, so we're going to go ahead and just pop this thing on. You can see in here how there's flats. Let me see, hopefully you guys can see that, how there's a flat like around here and here. You want to line that up with the crank so it will go on. All right, so like I was saying, you want to make sure all that's lined up, but you got to kind of play with it. But let's see if I can get it on there now. But once you figure it out, I mean, you should be able to, you know, it'll go on. You know, you don't want to force it on. You don't want to hit it with a hammer or nothing, but it will go on. So let me get some bolts that we can put in there. So I got these bolts here. I'll put the size on the screen or something. But also, so I kind of forgot which, that actually might be the bolt right there. This one goes through the, I think, I don't remember, dude. And we're gonna torque these to 100 inch-pounds. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and install our crank sprocket here. So you see this dot is gonna be on here. You want that facing towards you. Make sure obviously that your pump or your sprocket here is, you know, nice and clean, and, you know, no debris or anything are, you know, caught up in there in between the teeth or anything like that. Just like with anything that you're really building here. Go ahead and find the keyway. Go ahead and slide that on. So as you can see the dots right there. So we want to actually move this to be pretty much 180. So let me go get the tool for that, and we'll turn it around. All right, so I got my crank turn tool here. We're gonna go ahead and just put that on. All right, so I got it pretty much where I need it to be. You know, you may not get it right the first time, but you want it ideally around 6 o'clock here. It can be a little past, but you want it pretty much straight up and down, which actually, looking at it now, it looks like we actually have it pretty much. So you want this at 6 o'clock and your thing here at like 10 or 11. It's more like 10 and a half, but you get it. You want it at 10:30 pretty much. All right, so now we can go ahead and install our guides here. So this is what I was talking about. This long bolt goes through your oil pump here. And then you want to match this up with this hole. And then we can go ahead and do the other side real quick. We can go ahead and put this side on. So the upgraded, or I'm sorry, not the upgraded, but the updated guides here. This part of the guide is going to be too thick for the OEM bolt that was on here. I'll put the OEM bolt part number that actually is the updated bolt for this in the description, or actually on the video, and you guys can get that from Ford, or you can just go to the parts store and find a bolt similar. All right, and then all of these bolts are going to be torqued to 90 inch-pounds. All right, now that we got those torqued down, well, we can actually go ahead and start with our chains. Get your chain here. When you get your chain, it's going to have a black link, 2 black links. So I guess it's sort of like a blue color, but you want it to be black here, on there, and then on the bottom here. That one's actually a little hard to see, but it's right there. So you kind of want to take them like this and go ahead and match it up with your dots. I don't know if this cam over here is spot on, so that's why I'm kind of just winging it over there. But you want to just take it and you want to get it on the back sprocket here. All right, so you want to make sure you verify that this is lined up with that dot there, and then your bottom link is lined up with that dot. And again, this goes on the back side of this sprocket here. All right, so we got our tensioner arm. You want to make sure you have the right one. The left side is going to have a little bit more of a lip here, so you can go ahead and put this on the little dowel that's right here. Put this over here. Make sure you have that there. I'm reusing my timing stuff because it's brand new, so there's no reason to replace them. But you want to go ahead and get your tensioner and get your bolts. Go ahead and torque that to 20 foot-pounds. Then you can go ahead and pull your pin. That's going to put tension on your chain there. So this side's timed. Like I said, the timing on this engine is really simple. I mean, especially because you've got just 2 cams, so this side's done. So this side is in time. We're gonna go ahead and move to the other side, the right bank, and go ahead and do that. It's pretty much the same principle, but we'll go ahead and knock that out. All right, so you want to go ahead and get your other chain here. Pretty simple. Make sure you find your black marks. Those black marks don't really mean anything other than just Just to help, you can mark any one of these links. You know, it's not a specific one that you have to have there. You know, you can mark them yourself if yours doesn't have the links, which they should for these cars. They usually all come marked. Go ahead and get this one. You know, line it up with your cam. Over on here. And then go ahead and line it up here. Make sure it goes over that down. All right. So and also for this, you want your tension side to be over here right now. You really don't want any tension over here because this is where your tensioner is going to go. Make sure you put it on the right way. Go ahead and slide that on. Slide that on. Make sure your chain is in the track there. All right, so we did get everything torqued down. Tensioners to 20 foot-pounds. Our arms to 90 inch-pounds. We got all of our marks lined up. Boom, right there, and then right there. That's where you want them at, really. This one's sort of at like in between 12 and 1, and that one more of like a 11 o'clock. And then let me show you our marks here. Make sure those are still lined up, and if they are, you're good to go. I mean, I personally know this is the right way and the right thing to time it, but you always want to, you know, do at least a 180 revolution. Actually, I would probably do it twice just to make sure, but we're gonna go ahead and do that and make sure there's no, you know, piston or valve contact or anything binding up. Hopefully there isn't. All right, so I was going to turn this thing over, but I forgot there's no, you know, there's no lifters in there or nothing. So I can't really do that, but I'm definitely going to be doing that off camera. But in the next video, I'll show you guys how I put the rocker arms in there. There's already lifters in there, but we're gonna use a special tool. I'll actually show you right now. It's this tool. This is an OEM tool, but you can buy it off like Summit, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, MMR or something, I don't know. But this is the tool number. OEM tools. Pretty much this grabs onto the cam lube underneath, or not the cam lube, but the cam body underneath. And then there's another second attachment that is this, and pretty much this will push your valve spring down, so then you can squeeze your rocker in there. So that will be the next video, but that's pretty much on how to time the single overhead cam 2 valves. In the next video we'll be finishing up the top end, being able to put the valve covers on, the timing cover, and we should be setting our oil pump clearance to the pan, and then that should pretty much be it for the long block.